What is a fate worse than death? Locked-in syndrome. Being burned alive. I saw a guy that was playing with gasoline get burned alive. The smell and sounds that he made were something I will never forget. Luckily it only lasted him a few minutes before he passed out. But the next 10 years and hundreds of surgeries were terrible. He said many times we should have let him die. Locked-in syndrome. You're conscious, but unable to move or communicate with the outside world. That seems like it would really suck. Being the only survivor, you carry the guilt of not being able to save everyone. Being the middle piece in the human centipede. Being forced to live in a vegetative state on life support because your friends/family won't let you go. Being the child in a child sex trafficking situation. Separating you from all the living things and putting you into a confined room with a giant mirror and the lights on full brightness 24/7. Fatal familial insomnia. https://www.bbc.com/future/article/20160118-the-tragic-people-who-stop-sleeping. Being skinned alive. Edit. Who the fuck gave this a wholesome award? Having to deal with the pain of radiation for a long period of time. Hisashi Aoki, yes, that's his last name, is an example of this. He had to deal with the pain after being exposed to a fatal dose of radiation after a nuclear power plant accident. He was kept alive for 83 days after the accident. God, I can't imagine the pain he had to endure. I think that having a child disappear and never knowing what happened is likely the worst thing in the world. Holding out hope. Never knowing when it is appropriate to stop looking. Even when your despair seems too much to bear for even one more day, you know that killing yourself would end any possibility of being reunited. Edit. Definitely the post with the most despair quotient that I have received gold for, but thank you. Seeing everyone close to you die. It makes you wish you died with them. Being paralyzed and blind for your whole life. Read up on Junko Furuta. Torture or slavery for about 80 years. Being in an infinite death loop and no way of escaping. Corga requiem de. Prolonged solitary confinement. Locked in a room and forced to watch The View. At high volume. All day. Every day. Roman used to erase people from history as a punishment worse than death. It was called damnatio memoriae. From a philosophy POV is horrible, and I think I would be horrified to be condemned to this sentence. But I think the worst is probably to live a life of misery by being slaved and tortured. Wishing to die but not being allowed to. Edit. Wow, I did not expect this wave of responses. Thanks for the love and support, guys, I truly appreciate it. Smiley face. Just to clarify, I'm going pretty well at this point in my life. The reason why I said this is because this was something that I had been going through quite badly some time ago, and I know that we've all felt this urge in some shape or form. As much as I wanted to end things when it got too much, I knew deep in my heart that I would hurt too many people in my life and that it's not my time to go just yet. Right now, my mindset is stable and I have an amazing girlfriend who's my biggest support pillar and my best friend. My heart goes out to all of you who have or are feeling this sensation right now. Trust me when I say this, the bad times shall come, but they are not here to last. Reach out to those you trust if you can and ride it through to the end. True immortality. Hear me out. If you were truly immortal, that is, you could never die under any circumstances, you'd outlive everyone. Even if you got close to someone, they'd be dead in what, to you, would feel like the blink of an eye. Given enough time, I think this has a good, if not 100% chance of driving you insane. Eventually, you'd outlive the human species. When humans went extinct, you'd have no one to talk to, forever. Now you would certainly go insane. Oh, and the worst part is still ahead. In trillions and trillion of years, the universe's stars will all have exhausted their supply of nuclear fuel, and the universe will reach heat death. Now there is nothing but you on a cold, inert, dead sphere. Now you get to endure this for all eternity. Sorry for the abject depression. There is a story about a fireman, which I admit, I cannot verify, who received third-degree burns over pretty much his entire body. After almost a decade of pain and skin grafts and looking like something out of a horror film, his doctors asked him if it was worth it. He replied that he wished he had died that day. Having heart attack mid-jerk off and being found with a dick in your hand. There's like an infinite amount worse fates. For example, a trickster god just turns you into a sentient rock and drops you off in a wasteland. That's it forever. You're still you can think and have senses, but you can't move because you're trapped as a rock. You just sit there forever staring into the wastes and try to occupy yourself. You can't die, you can't sleep, all you can really do is think. Eventually you'll be buried and won't be able to tell what time it is. Eventually you would hope to yourself, the sun will explode and my stony form will be destroyed by the solar fire and end my miserable excuse for an existence. Now with COVID going around, old people who are suffering from it and fighting for their lives for 2 or 3 weeks in the hospital, knowing they aren't getting better, dying slowly without having contact with family or friends because they don't have a cell phone or etc. Suffering for weeks and eventually dying seems horrible, not only from COVID but also from cancer. Thank you for watching the video. Welcome to Reddit Wisdom. Here you will learn the wisdom of the crowd, the wisdom of Reddit. Please consider subscribing for more Reddit wisdom.